Hey guys, this is ggurface and I'll be talking about game number 5 between LiquidTLO and MaDFroG. LiquidTLO is spawning at the 12 o'clock position as Terran and MaDFroG is spawning at the 3 o'clock position as Zerg. As some of you know, I have had some audio problems. I think this should be the episode that finishes that off because I've gotten a whole bunch of mics and headsets, exactly 3 new ones to be exact, and I had actually 2 old headsets and 2 old microphones and 1 cam, and out of the old ones, actually one of them did work, and I'm trying to return the newer ones. So that's what's happening. But thanks for the suggestions because I wasn't quite aware that there was a huge audio problem. I'm quite embarrassed about it, but thanks for you guys for pointing it out to me. I'm trying to get a hang of doing this, and there are a lot of suggestions that are thrown my way that's helping me improve, and I thank you guys for it. And I also want to let you guys know that if you do have any more comments, any more even good or bad things to say, please let me know because I'm always open for criticism. So as this game is underway, the Terran is building supply depot in the back, whereas MaDFroG hasn't thrown down anything. I think he's going to go for an early expansion. If the Overlord is scouting in the right direction, he does see that LiquidTLO is building a barracks right at his door. A refinery should be going up pretty soon, as that is the standard play, and we do see one drone going out. Perhaps this is the early expansion that we were talking about. And yes, he does throw out the early expansion at 300 minerals. Refinery is going up for LiquidTLO. Not that much going on right now, but this is pretty important because this is game number 5 of 8, and I think because the rush distance is pretty far away and they're not right next to each other, like this position to this position, that MaDFroG feels safe about expanding. So that's why he expanded. Spawning pool is going down for MaDFroG, while LiquidTLO is getting Marines, I believe. Yes, he's getting Marines. And this Overlord, as soon as he sees production of the Marines, he's going to move it to this ledge. And the good thing about this ledge is, here we have a probe chasing SCV. The good thing about this ledge is you will be able to see units coming out of their choke point, whereas their units will not be able to spot the Overlord. So this positioning is pretty good. So you can see from the MaDFroG's perspective, this is exactly where he wants to be. A Marine takes control of a tower, and more Marines are coming out. This is pretty unusual because most players, they only make 1 Marine to defend their early, potentially Zerglings. And I think this is going to go down as a structure. No, he's actually going to get more minerals. So right now we see that MaDFroG is getting more and more probes, whereas LiquidTLO is opting to go more tech. Zerglings coming out for MaDFroG, and boy, this is looking to be a very interesting game because Terran is going tech heavy, investing a lot in structures and gas, whereas the Zerg player is going for the mineral heavy early expansion. And here we see 2 Zerglings going to the watchtowers. Zerglings are one of the best units to send to watchtowers because they're cheaper than the probes, drones, and SCVs, but they can also take them down. So at the same time, you get more bang for your buck. Here we see 5 Marines. They're going to move out and probably check out the base, and they will run into 2 Zerglings, and they will be able to take out these Zerglings pretty easily. Metabolic boost is coming up for the Zerg player, MaDFroG, and a starport, as well as a tech lab coming up for the little one. The little one moving out with 5 Marines and 1 Hellion, but because MaDFroG has control of the towers, he will be able to see this coming. And he has 2 Queens, a Spine Crawler coming up, 2 Zerglings. He should be able to defend this off pretty well. Medevac coming up for LiquidTLO. That will enable his Marines to have a little bit more mobility, as they can function as dropships. LiquidTLO should take out these units by the watchtower because that's probably why he had so much resistance when he went to the base. And here we see a bunch of Zerglings coming up. If the Zergling speed finishes, they might be able to trap this Hellion. And as the Hellion for MaDFroG is falling back, he tries to micro and get a couple of shots at the Hellion, but he's unable to. The Hellion is slightly damaged, but I think it was worth it because he did manage to take down a few Zerglings. Oh, we missed something. The barracks moved over and tried to take a couple of shots at this overlord because of the vision with the Marines, but he wasn't able to finish it. And here we see mass Zerglings moving out, and we see MaDFroG moving toward the base of MaDFroG. What is MaDFroG thinking? I think he should be able to see this MaDFroG going in. He's trying to test the barriers, but he can't get in. He's moving his Zerglings back in a defensive position. And LiquidTLO drops these Marines off. One at the high ground, four at the low ground. He managed to kill off one drone, but he couldn't get any more kills. And then he drops off his Marines at the high ledge. And the current time, LiquidTLO is making a Viking, whereas MaDFroG is actually producing a Spire. A Thor is out for LiquidTLO. This is pretty interesting. With a Thor, you will be able to snipe this hatchery from the high ground without any problems. An Overseer comes into the base and he will be able to see this armory, and he knows that there is a potential for the Thor. And this MaDFroG with a Thor is coming to MaDFrog's base, but MaDFroG can't do anything with these Zerglings. As long as the Thor is not dropped in the open, he can't really surround it. And Thor is dropped near the base, and Thor is pummeling this hatchery. We'll keep an eye on the hatchery while we see that the Zergling for MaDFroG is going to test the base entrance of LiquidTLO. Once again, I don't think he'll be able to get in, as this one Hellion and this one Marine should be able to keep these Zerglings at bay. And he's going to lose this Overseer. And he's also going to lose this hatchery. And we see a bunch of Marines getting into the action as well, but he's going to pick those up. He did not lose any Marines. Wow, what great play. And the Zerglings falling back, knowing that they can't get in. And I think another expansion is going on for MaDFroG. MaDFroG likes to expand at unconventional places. He doesn't like to take the natural expansions. And if you notice, this MaDFroG is taking the Thor on a longer route, because if you take it directly back to the base from the ledge to here, it gives a very high chance that the Mutalisks that are coming out for MaDFroG to intercept you and potentially take you down while you're to take down the MaDFroG. Because if the unit takes down the MaDFroG while the Thor is intact, they will kill the Thor as well. And right now MaDFroG sees that the Thor is on the MaDFroG, and he chases it with the Mutalisk. I think he's thinking about engaging. I'm not sure if LiquidTLO is doing this on purpose. I think he's baiting him. Oh, he drops the Thor. He takes one shot at the Mutalisks. So a hatchery going up for MaDFroG, whereas LiquidTLO is getting more upgrades for his Thor. He's getting 1/1 upgrades already done. He's getting more Vikings and more Thors. I think this would have been the better idea to do instead of expanding over here, because this expansion is very difficult for MaDFroG to defend. But at the same time, if you take this expansion and you're successful at it, that means you take slightly more than 50% of the map should the game last that long. And a lot of times, long macro games, it does comes down to the number of bases and how much income you have per base. And this might give him a slight advantage to win. More barracks and an engineering base coming up for LiquidTLO. And stem pack, that's kind of weird. You only have 3 Marines and you're getting stem pack already. Here we see the drones transfer over to the new base for MaDFroG. And the unit count right now LiquidTLO has 4 Thors, 3 Vikings, and 3 Marines. I don't know why he's researching stem. That's another 100 minerals that he could spend on something else. Thors are only 300, 200 minerals. So I think it'll be better if he got like a slightly discounted Thor if he didn't research that instead. Research the stem pack. There's 20 Zerglings and some Mutalisks patrolling the map, making sure that LiquidTLO is not expanding to a place that he does not expect, as he has done in this game. And right now, if we take a look at the unit production center, I think this was a misclick. I don't see why he would be getting stem pack. Maybe he's thinking about switching to some Marines and Marauders. A hive tech is coming up for MaDFroG, and we do see an infestation pit along with 2 evolution chambers, so we should be seeing upgrades coming up soon. And he does opt for the Zerg melee attack. Here we see a formidable force coming out for LiquidTLO, as he has 3 Hellions in the front, and these Mutalisks is able to snipe off 2 of them. So he does not have the Hellions to support. The Hellions will be great against the Zerglings, but these Thors, I don't think they will be able to move out without the additional help of Zerglings. And we do see that LiquidTLO has gotten the stem pack for his Marauders. And here we come. Here we see that the Zerglings are gonna try to engage these units. I think if they get a good surround on the Thors, they should engage. If they cannot get a surround, they should definitely not engage, because these number of Mutalisks is not going to be able to take down these number of Thors. We see 3 Vikings. We see further upgrades for weapon infantry level 1, and we see a Thor harassing here, but he takes it down no problem. But I think that one Thor was actually more of a distraction, because it got most of the forces away from the main base to defend. And here we're going to see some large battle. No, actually, MaDFroG decides not to battle because he was in a severe disadvantage. He's trying to get us around the Zerglings, however. I think... No, he's not trying to get us around. I thought he was going to engage, but he wasn't. And we see 4 Infestors coming out. This could get very interesting. If the Infestors can get off the Fungal Growth and slow down, that would enable these Thors to get surrounded. And the Thors do get surrounded. And these Infestors are going to send fungal growth on the air units, because the Zerglings cannot hit air. We see 1 Thor goes down, 2 Thors, 3 Thors, and 4 Thors. 4 Thors, all 4 Thors go down for LiquidTLO. And now there's a huge advantage for MaDFroG, as he's taking out almost the entire ground army for LiquidTLO. LiquidTLO is making more and more units, but he only has 1 Marine, 2 Marauders, and 2 Hellions against this immense ground force of 39 Zerglings. Well, that was really good play. You guys saw that he surrounded, and he also fungal growth the units to prevent them from escaping. If we take a look at the income tab, we'll see that MaDFroG is quite ahead. I don't think he should have moved in here, because he had an advantage, but now he's sort of throwing it away, because there's this very narrow choke. It's very easy for the Hellions to burn away the Zerglings like they did. So I guess he did lose a bit of that advantage. And right now, these 4 Hellions are checking out this expansion, and he does see that there is no defenses at this expansion, and he should be able to take down these probes no problem. And that is what he does. And he's even going to take out this spine crawl defense. I don't know how much that's going to help, but these 4 Hellions are forcing this entire force of Zerglings, which are not that great against Hellions with an upgrade especially, to come back to his base. Now this is very good play. He wants to back up into a corner so that the Zerglings can't get us around. Well, I mean, you can get half a surround, you can't get a full surround, and he was able to get quite a number of Zerglings on that, as well as drones. In the production, we see more upgrades for the Terran player, and the Zerg player is also getting melee attacks to upgrade his Zerglings. And here we see another battle going on between the Zerglings, and quite nice mixture for LiquidTLO. As long as he has these Hellions with the upgrade, it's pretty difficult for Zerglings to get in, because they will kill the Zerglings really, really fast. Oh, we see battle cruisers coming out for LiquidTLO. This could get very interesting, as the Zerg player does not have that much air defense. He doesn't have anything at the moment except for the Infestors to slow him down, but that would only buy him more time to produce units. And we see a massive number of Zerglings moving across the map. 40 Zerglings. Maybe they will hit the new expansion, but they're actually falling back as they see this wave of Hellions. And fungal growth goes off on the units. They gotta move. LiquidTLO's gotta move the Infestors back if he does not want to lose them. If he throws out another fungal growth, that would be great. Oh, he misses the fungal growth, only hitting 2 units, and he loses almost all of his Zerglings. He needs to throw down another fungal growth just to slow him down. And I think he's going to do another fungal growth. This fungal growth should be able to take down all these Hellions. But he doesn't have a response to this number of air units right now, and these are going to be an effective harass for this goal expansion here. We see tanks coming out, sieging out at his own goal for LiquidTLO, and he's harassing this goal expansion, but he's not doing that much damage, as these Mulists spawn just in time to get rid of these Vikings. If we take a look at the army tab, both players are pretty much about the same at 110 army size, but we do see 2 battle cruisers for LiquidTLO, and he has to pull the drones, the SCVs, off